Hey everyone, welcome back. I hope that you guys are all doing well. So I've just completed my sketchbook and I've already got a tour up on my channel for that, so do check it out if you haven't already. And of course, what follows a sketchbook tour would be starting a new sketchbook, so I am doing one of this today. So I don't think I've really shared any moments of myself starting my sketchbook really much on my channel, so I just thought that it would be appropriate to film something like that for you guys. I'll also be sharing a couple of ways that I start my sketchbook, and I always start my sketchbook like this because I just feel like it works for me and it kind of takes away the nerves of beginning the daunting first page. Back in days, like when I was a bit younger, I used to be really afraid of starting like a sketchbook and thinking that I would mess up the first page, and I still do, but I just feel like I have found like ways to evade or like mitigate that chance. So I'll be sharing with you guys a couple of ways that I do. I also bought another sketchbook, and it's like not really like a sketchbook, it's like a sketch pad. It's from Sennelier, and I saw it on Amazon. I just thought like I love the shape of it and I love the color of the cover, so I basically bought it, and I think I will start this one soon, but not for today. So I'm just, peeling the packaging off because it already ripped when it was delivered to me, so I just thought I'll just include it in this video. Now I'm just flipping through my old sketchbooks, and most of the sketchbooks you'll realize that I always start off with a signature, a date. I just love having like the date on the sketchbook, so when in the future when I go back and look on these, I just know when they're from and what age I was when I did them. It just kind of adds like a sentimental value to it, I think, and I feel like a signature just makes it really personal, but that's kind of my thing. And I sometimes like to add a title for the book. It could be like just like the theme, the overall theme that you like to achieve, or something a little bit cheesy. I think it's okay. It's your sketchbook, so do what you like. I am gonna be using my Fabriano Classic Artist Journal. If you guys are bored of seeing this sketchbook, I'm so sorry, but I actually have got another 4 brand new ones, so I'm gonna have to use all of those before I really start getting anything more interesting. And I just really like this sketchbook. It just has always worked out for me. It's a yearly tradition at this point that I do one of this every single year. I love the paper and I love the color as well. I just feel like the varying colors in the sketchbook actually helps me to feel like fresh again when I do my sketches, and I just love flipping through these as well. I feel like the paper, the weight of it is just about right. Not really good when you do watercolors on it though. I feel like it's just more good for like graphite, pen, ink, color pencils, those dry mediums a little bit more. I would favor that. But if you do use watercolors and like Copic markers, it will probably bleed to the other page. But I still also like how the markers look on that. I just don't really like how watercolor, because watercolor really warps paper like that. A lot of people have a fear of starting the first page of a sketchbook, and I do too. At least in the past, it was a lot more prevalent, that fear. Nowadays, not so much, but I still feel very icky if I feel like I screwed up like the first page, because it is the first thing that you see. So I feel like by doing the date on the first page, it doesn't feel that, it's like you broke into the sketchbook already. So yeah, and I feel like how to think of it in a positive way is just to know that by the time you are completed with the sketchbook, most likely you'll have more than one bad art in there. And bad art just means like maybe art that you don't really like. Everyone has a different take on what good or bad is, but most importantly, I think is that you have to enjoy them. And I'm also still embracing my bad art, and it's still also quite a journey for myself, because now when I do make bad art, I still like to cover it up with another piece of art when I go back into the sketchbook. So I think I'm also still trying to get rid of that habit and just accept it for what it is, or like improve so I don't make that much mistakes. So yeah, and another way is actually This is something I've read up online before. They say just skip the first page. I mean, it just kind of makes sense. There are people that say like start the sketchbook from the back, but I feel like that's a bit that's not really it for me. But if it works for you, then that's great. But I just feel like skipping works as well. But another thing is also just to draw what you're comfortable with. It's okay to stay in your comfort zone at times. We all do have things that we feel like we draw better, and I think it's good to just do it as a first page kind of thing. And for me, it's just portraits, so I feel like it's also kind of cool that like throughout the years, and I just flip to the first page of my sketchbook and it's usually a portrait, and I can see how that portrait kind of evolves with time, and I think that's quite fun to see yourself. It's just nice as an artist to see your progress, be it's like an upward trajectory, or like, you know, the journey is never just a straight like a constant trajectory upwards. There are always going to be slumps, and your perspective changes of yourself as well, like of your art and of your skill. Like maybe the art that I make today, I'm not happy with today because I feel like I expect more out of myself, but 5 years ago me would be like, wow, this is like the best thing I've ever created. So it's all about perspective, and sometimes it's important to be kind to yourself as well, and I'm also trying to learn that. So yeah. Also, I use my sketchbook kind of like a journal as well. I like to write moments in my life when, you know, I've got something happen to me, or like just anything, challenges that I faced, or just like thoughts of my life and where I'm heading towards. I think it's good to write things down, and, you know, like having those words alongside your art sometimes also give your art power in a way. Like, you know, for me at least, when I flip through and I read and I understand where I was and the art that I made alongside that, you know, sometimes it just kind of adds context to things. So yeah, but you can use your sketchbook virtually for anything that you want because it's your sketchbook. And I just feel like sometimes journaling also is an art form in itself, expressing yourself with words and with art. A little bit of a special thing that I did is that I started using pencil again. I just feel like maybe I'm not as confident as I am in my lines. That's why I kind of reverted back to that, so I can like map out what I want on the page and then go in deliberately with ink. Now, overall, I'm still kind of okay with how it turned out, so if I don't really like something, then it's just on to the next page. There's always something to improve on, and that's what a sketchbook is for. Sometimes I also like to use my sketchbook to store moments or like memories. So like what I did was, if you can see, there's like some writing on the previous page. It's just something I told my dad to write. I just brought the sketchbook down. I was like, write something for me, and then he just wrote something for me. So I just like keeping these little things in my sketchbook. It just feels very, very personal. Now, as like I'm doing a voiceover over the video, I realize that I drew a lot of the things that are very consistent with my old sketchbook, and this will probably be true to the sketchbook for a while until we are a little bit more in the sketchbook, just because I'm still reeling from that like phase. One thing I also like told you guys about I think early last year or something is like I wanted more colors in my sketchbook, but I mean the previous one I guess had a little bit, but I just want even more. So let me try to go and explore that part, because it's not like I've got the lack of supplies, it's just that I feel like I've got the lack of imagination, and like I'm just staying too much in my comfort zone of using just pen and ink, because I feel like it's just such an easy medium, or like just like a very fuss-free medium. I've done that for a really long time and I really enjoy the look of it as well. But I think now is the time to start introducing color, like how I used to love putting on colors on top of colors for my old-fashioned illustrations. So I kind of just want to rekindle that, and hopefully you guys get to see it in this sketchbook. and it's not just like an empty promise that I'm making. I can't wait to fill up this sketchbook and share with you guys the pages along the way. If you guys like this kind of videos, please let me know. It helps. And I think, yeah, that's kind of about it. If you're also starting your sketchbook, I would just say main takeaway is just to always draw what you like. You know, nothing is more important in the world than what you like and what makes you happy. And I just always think that is kind of like the deal for everything. Like, it's just about making happiness for yourself, and that's kind of what art aims to do for the world. And I think, yeah, that's all I'm gonna leave you guys with today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next one. Bye.